Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Green Pro Clean Limited, window cleaners in Nottingham, Derbyshire, South Yorkshire and now Leicestershire as well. That's it, we're slowly expanding, we're taking them out one at a time. Today's video is brought to us by one of our YouTube subscribers, Macquarie1974. I'm glancing over there because I'm reading off of my screen. And Macquarie is one of our subscribers, as I say, and he's posed the delicate question, the taboo topic, the eggshells that nobody wants to walk on. And I'm going to read out the comment verbatim so that I'm not accused of paraphrasing. And the question that Macquarie poses is, this may be a controversial question, but here goes. Do you have any Chinese English or Indian English customers? And if so, how do they differ and how are they similar from UK natives? This would be a most interesting video. Now, to anybody who's a bit oversensitive out there, the New World Order bunch, what I will say is there's a big difference between discussing racial differences, mannerisms and whatnots, and in a topic that contains racist content, which this does not. This is not racist in any way whatsoever. So I'm still going to get strung up for it, I've got a feeling, but thanks Macquarie. But anyway, here goes. And for those that don't know, I have somewhat of an in-depth understanding, especially of the Chinese cultures, because my wife is Filipino-Chinese, born in the Philippines of a pure Chinese bloodline. So there you have it. Some of you didn't know that. But I get where Macquarie's coming from with this question. And there are some substantial differences, especially to the window cleaners and service industry, like regular service industry personnel, window cleaners, gardeners, that sort of thing, maintenance men, with our Oriental, Asian friends, African friends, compared to our, what I will term for the sake of this video, Anglo-Saxon, typical Middle English people. And because I think my heritage is Anglo-Saxon, I've never looked into it that much, so I couldn't really tell you. But anyway, I get where you're coming from, so I'm going to jump in now. I've waffled enough for this one. And there's a big difference. The first thing you have to understand is window cleaning in the UK is a monthly or bi-monthly business. For us, it's monthly, bi-monthly. Some of the lads do a 6-weekly, 12-weekly round. Some do a 2-weekly round, whatever the round is. But it's a regular service thing, and that's what it is. We charge a small amount for a regular service. That's how we make our money. And the big problem that we face is when we go out on a first clean, the first clean is where all the time, all the effort, all the energy, all the muscle is expended to get the windows absolutely perfect. A first clean takes a lot longer than a maintenance clean. That's just a fact. The first clean is really preparing them for the maintenance clean down the road. So once we've been out and we've quoted a 3-bed semi-detached house here on my patch in the Midlands at say £15 for a monthly clean, it's been accepted by a customer, you put in all that hard work, then you go back the following month and they're sitting going, oh yeah, no, don't bother mate, they still look alright, yeah, you can do one now, thanks. It's gutting, it's heart-wrenching, because hang on a minute mate, we told you it was this, we told you it was that, we put in all the effort and now you're just fobbing us off, you know. It really does grind on you, especially when you're starting out trying to build a round. Nowadays, as I say, we've got sizable rounds now, we're franchised out, and nowadays when it happens, we just roll our eyes and go, whatever, move on, and we take it on the chin. But we can, because we have sizable rounds. But for lads starting out with smaller rounds, it hurts to lose customers in such a fashion. What it comes down to is the big differences in the India. I'm not going to use Indian English, Chinese English, I might have said this. I'm just going to say outright, Indians, Pakistanis, Africans, etc. So non-Anglo-Saxon. Big differences with where they're from and where we're from. Where we're from, it's all about throwaway culture. It's all about disposable income. We have to spend it as fast as we get it. That seems to be who we are. Where my wife is from, absolutely not. No. You have to get the best possible value for your money. End of. That's straightforward. Same with the Indians, same with the Pakistanis. It's not that they're being tight, they're being frugal. There's a big difference. They're looking after their money. They've worked hard to get that. Now they're looking after it and they're going to haggle. Now, many of you may not know, it's in the rules. Life of Brian by the Monty Python crew. Go and watch it. You have to haggle. It's in the rules. Simple as that. That's all I'll say. But it's in their culture. And when we started getting large influxes of Indians, Pakistanis, Africans, Caribbeaners, I'm not sure if that's a word, people from the Caribbean, Jamaica, Barbados, Trinidad, etc., coming over in the 50s, the 60s, etc., when they were recruited by the National Health Service, by British Rail, by London Transport, etc., to come on over and work. They were coming from a culture where they may have had very, very little. they may not have had a lot out there, so they had to make every single penny count. And as they've settled here and they've become part of our society, they've raised their families, their children, although their children are born here, born English, raised here, the thing with that is that they are still going to be raised by their parents, who very much still have all of their mannerisms, their traits, if we can, we'll use traits, from the homeland, from the motherland. And so they're raised to think the way that their parents thought, to behave the way their parents thought. You have much more of your parents in you than you may care to admit, regardless of where you're from. So by the time these people that came in the 50s and 60s, by the time their kids are grown and they've got grandkids, they're second generation, third generation English, but they're still going to be looked after by their grandparents, great-grandparents in some cases, on a daily interaction, and they're still going to learn those mannerisms, and they're still going to want the best possible deal. In the Philippines, where my wife's family lives, you don't have residential window cleaners, unheard of. You'll see window cleaners on the large commercial jobs, on the offices, on the big shopping malls, but you won't see them on houses. You want the windows cleaning on the house, you just smack the nephew around the ear hole and make him do it. And that's just how it works out there. They don't spend money on that sort of thing. So when they come over here, it's not in their culture to. So they will quite often just look at the window and go, do you know what, it's a bit manky, about time we got that sorted, let's call a window cleaner. Now this is very much now getting into the territory of our American, Australian and New Zealander cousins, Canadian cousins, who do the one-off calls. They get a call out to go out and do it once a year, once every couple of years, or maybe twice a year, but for a much, much higher price. In America, you can pay a couple of $100s to get your windows cleaned without batting an eyelid. Here, you're paying $15 once a month. So you see the big difference. But this is the mentality that our Indians and our Africans, our Pakistani descendants, well, people that are here now anyways, of that heritage, this is how they think. They just want a one-off. Nothing wrong with that. Us as a company, we do not offer a one-off service. It's as simple as that, and we explain this. I also learned from my Polish friends that they only generally have a window cleaner twice a year, Easter and then coming up to Christmas. So they have them done twice a year, the whole clean up of the house, get it all ready for the religious festivities, as it were. So it's a cultural thing. And as we are a multicultural planet today, as we are a, what do you call it? There's no borders anymore. People go where they want, people live where they want, really. For people coming from that culture and that way of mentality, society, coming over here, they're saying, can I get my windows cleaned? And you're just jumping in going, yeah, no problem, of course you can. Quite happy to get that done. Well, part of the problem is on you. And I say the part of the problem is on you because you've just gone straight ahead and assumed that they're going to want a monthly service, that they're going to be a good, regular, reliable customer every month in, month out, and you've not discussed it. So having a sign-up sheet of some description is quite a bit, it's quite an important thing for many people. And I've printed one up here. This is one that I wrote up in about 30 seconds this morning, and it's right here. And on here it has the customer's name, the customer's details, but most importantly, down in this section here, it has, let me see if I'm still on camera there yet, so one-off first clean price, monthly clean price, and bi-monthly clean price. So you take that with you to the job. You put the customer's details on there, and then you can write down price for a monthly clean, sir, is going to be that, for a bi-monthly clean is going to be that, but the first clean where all the work is involved is going to be that price there. And pop it down on the paper, have them initial it, and then down the bottom here, get their signature on it. It explains everything on there. We're going to clean all your windows, your frames, your seals, your doors. And here's the important part for them to understand. At the bottom it says, I've read the above and initialed my choice of service. I also understand I'm not obligated or bound by any contract for any particular length of time. I also understand that 30 days written notice is required to cancel this service at any time. So if they're not down for just a one-off clean, they're understanding that they have now signed up to have that done every month, and should they want to terminate it, they've got to give you 30 days written notice. They could still just say, yeah, I'll have a monthly clean, and when you go out the following month, just fob you off. Even with that signature on the paper, there's nothing you can do about that. You could try challenging them in the courts, but it's more of a headache than it is worth. Write it off, move on, take it on the chin. Gutting all the same. That form, by the way, is posted on the window cleaning forums in the resources section. I'll put a link down below. So it's nothing to do with a particular type of person, a particular cultural identity of a person, or what's the word, heritage is the word I'm trying to find, heritage of a person, as to whether or not they're going to be a good regular monthly window cleaner, because we have many Indian customers, many African customers. Well, I say many, we've got a few Indian customers. That's only because of the demographic where we are, there's not that many of them. So we have a few African customers, Indian customers, etc., who are great regular monthly customers. And then we have some that phone up who do just want a one-off, and we always go to the trouble of asking the question these days, do you want a one-off, yes or no? And find out early on. And if we get the old spidey senses tingling, take the sign-up sheet, get it signed, there you go. Then at least they've signed something to say they understand, so you're a bit more confident moving forward as to what's going to happen. So I hope you found this somewhat useful. The golden rule to all of this, and there are many out there who sit there and go, oh yeah, I'm not going to work for those sort of people, etc., etc. Such a bad attitude. The golden rule to this is, as long as it's got Lizzie's head on it, as long as it's got the boss lady's head on it, the old £10 notes, £20 notes, £30 notes, where am I from these days? £10 note, £20 note, as long as it's got her head on it, mate, I'll do the job. As long as I'm getting paid, I'll do the job. I'm not bothered where anybody's from. So I hope you guys have found this somewhat useful. If you like what we do, give us a thumbs up and do subscribe. If you don't like what we do, feel free, give it a thumbs down and don't subscribe. The reason I say don't subscribe is because there's a lot more of the same on this channel, so you won't enjoy it. Please take a moment, check out our sponsors, Jordan at Waterworks, home of the Power Up HD Reel and other water-fed pole window cleaning equipment. His link is down below here. Also do drop by the window cleaning forums, plenty of great window cleaners on there for a bit of banter, discussion, technical advice, not just window cleaners, carpet cleaners, gutter cleaners, driveway cleaners, if it can be cleaned, somebody can tell you how to do it on there. That's straightforward. And last but not least, REYU lead generation. Details are down below. REYU is our lead generation company that provides window cleaning leads for window cleaners all over the world. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you have enjoyed it. As I said just before, I'm doubling up now. Have a great weekend. I'll talk to you all soon. Thanks for watching.